All right, I got 6 o'clock. I'll go ahead and call it to order. Will everyone please stand for the pledge? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next is the approval of the minutes, starting with February 24th, 2022. Is there any minutes? Hearing none, if there's no objection, those are approved. Next is March 3rd, 2022, regular meeting. Are there any minutes? Hearing none, if there's no objection, those are approved. Next is March 7th, 2022. Are there any amendments? Hearing none, if there's no objection, those are approved. Next is approval of requisitions for March 17th, 2022, in the amount of $88,240.52. There's no objection, that is approved. Next is approval of accounts payable, March 10th, 2022, an amount of $419,654.42. There's no objection, that's approved. Next is accounts payable for March 17th, 2022, an amount of $213,064.13. There's no objection, that is approved. Next is approval of manual checks for March 11th, 2022, in the amount of $118,823.97. There's no objection, that is approved. Next is manual checks for March 18th, 2022, in the amount of $11,068.35. There's no objections, that's approved. Next is approval of payroll for March 3rd, 2022, in the amount of $259,500.71. There's no objections, that is approved. Next is payroll for March 17th, 2022, in the amount of $261,027.74. There's no objections, that's approved. Are there any announcements or changes to the agenda? So next, I have public comment. I would just remind people to keep to 3 minutes. I'll start with my list, move online, raise your hand for online, and then I'll come back for anyone else that's missed. First on the list I have is Jay Mansfield.
Hello, Commission members. I gave you a handout. Thank you for your service to our community. I really do appreciate it. I'm Jay Mansfield, a resident of Shepherdstown. I'm here to care for those who cannot help themselves, women with complex PTSD. I'm what people call a bleeding heart liberal, and I'm a diehard Republican fiscal conservative. I'm the redheaded stepchild of the Republican Party. This is about trauma-informed housing for women with complex PTSD. Post-traumatic stress disorder. These women were probably raped in our county. They probably have suffered at least one traumatic brain injury. There's a very high probability of significant abuse throughout their life from childhood to adulthood. They starve themselves because they fear shopping for food around a crowd of people. They're agoraphobic, so they stay home, and they're prone to anorexia. They're occasionally filled with rage due to their condition and persistently distrustful. They will not comply with taking psychoactive drugs because they fear they will suffer from a complete loss of creativity and thought. They cannot work. They want to, but they cannot tolerate surprises. Any surprise, good or bad. They cannot tolerate loud noises, and the state puts them in a government-assisted housing facility near loud train horns. Once they get spun up from a train horn, it takes them hours to spin back down, but they never relax, never. 3.5% of your population are women suffering from complex PTSD every hour, every day. That's 2,000 of our residents. And many will be homeless because nowhere seems safer than anywhere. You've never been told about this problem until now. You have an opportunity for good. Please let my words reach your heart and stay there. I've designed a very small pilot project to support trauma-informed housing in our county. Eventually, as I get my business together to support trauma-informed housing, I will need your help. And I will call on you for that help. Thank you in advance for your help. May God bless you.
Next on the list, I have David Tapp.
David Tabb, Jefferson County resident, taxpayer, lifelong. My heart goes out to Mr. Mansfield. This is real.
Mansfield.
Yeah, Mr. Mansfield. I know about his project. Heart goes out, literally. I've handed in a public comment in writing, and I'm glad it did, because I'm not speaking too well right now. But the minutes you just approved, there's no substance structure in the documents that are online to justify what you just approved. It states it all in here. There's nothing. Now, how are we supposed to know the public whether you're honest or not? It states it within my public comment. On item 6, the FOI budget is coming around to like $26 million. The levy project, or levy that's getting ready to be approved, is $27.72 on class 2. Class 3 and 4 is $55.44. The numbers are all over the place. We did have some documents there. The recap on page 135 says the FY 22 budget for the county was $33.8 million. FY 23 is going to be 35.5. But I can find it no place in any of the paperwork where these numbers add up. The numbers I had for this fiscal year was 27 million. But yet we have 33 listed for last year and now 35 for next. There is $24 million in HARPA money that is not listed. I just did it for you. I got to pull you back so you can look it up yourself. But it's not there. But one thing that is amazing on all the paperwork that I've done looking at the budget is that it appears Parks and Recs is going MIA. Used to be a whole bunch of information. Now it's missing. So did you throw them out in the bathwater or you just hide them someplace else?
Next, I have Stephanie Brooke.
I'm Stephanie Grove. I'm a resident of Leetown, West Virginia, here in Jefferson County. I'm here to request that the commission issue a public apology to Michelle Gordon following the spirits reporting in the newspaper last week. And also that this commission request an official investigation into both the elected officials and county employees who participated in providing her personally identifiable information to a private Facebook group known as Jefferson County Perspective. This use was an illegal use of our NCIC system, and it puts every officer in Jefferson County at risk because the FBI could revoke our license for an unauthorized use of the NCIC system. I was a little bit surprised that this wasn't on the agenda already, because when that same Facebook group issued a defamatory attack against Ms. Gordon, this commission couldn't wait to schedule a special session. In fact, the newest commissioner, despite not having either even a 30-second conversation with either me or Ms. Gordon, moved an out-of-order motion to have a special session. And then the commission did schedule that special session. And now we have a documented trail of county employees misusing our own system to malign another county employee. And crickets, nothing. And why is that? Well, I'll tell you why I think it is. I think it's because several of you up here already know what happened and may have even been involved in it. So there's no need to do that investigation if you already know what happened. And in fact, the reporting in the Spirit indicates that some of you may have known what happened prior to it happening. I believe that this group was used to malign Ms. Gordon to the point of her resignation or termination from the Jefferson County Commission. And why would that be? Why did we take a perfectly good employee and malign her? Well, I'll tell you why. Because she made the mistake of upsetting the county clerk by telling her she was wrong on some of the things that her office was doing. And the county clerk complained to current commissioners. She kept looking for a commissioner who would take her side. And with the newest election, she found that commissioner. And then she found an ally in the sheriff, who also wasn't a fan of Ms. Gordon. He wasn't a fan of Ms. Gordon because she told him he couldn't do things like pay for dinner for his wife with taxpayer money or override the budget. And so I believe that they worked together. In fact, I believe that they knew, and there may be people on this commission who knew, that a deputy in a county cruiser delivered information from our NCIC system to the moderators of JCP, one of whom has a documented evidence of violence against women. So at the very least, Ms. Gordon deserves an apology from you, and definitely an investigation of what has happened here in Jefferson County with some of the worst corruption under your watch that I've ever seen.
Justice, anyone raise their hand on one?
First one is Christine Marshall. Ms. Marshall, you're self-muted.
Yes, I'm Christine Marshall. During the January 21st Board of Health meeting, a sanitarian was terminated after the board entered executive session regarding an undefined and non-actionable personnel issue. However, the board emerging from the executive session moved to and voted to terminate a sanitarian. There was no justification given. During the February 11th meeting, the termination was rescinded due to lack of proper procedure, but at least 2 board members argued that pay of the sanitarian was excessive and tasked the health department director to provide the board with written summary of grants of the sanitarian had written and received as compared to his compensation. During the February meeting, it was also became clear that neither the health department director nor the health officer were aware of the impending termination in January, or that there was any problems with the sanitarian in question. Is it appropriate for a board to terminate an employee who report to staff? Is it appropriate for the board to terminate a low-level employee without a stated cause? If there was a problem with the sanitarian, why didn't the board discuss the issue with the director to seek resolution? Are we to expect the Planning Commission to terminate clerks, or the Charlestown Utility Board to terminate wastewater treatment operators, bypassing the established employment structure? That overreach by a board sounds ridiculous, right? So why is it okay for the Board of Health to directly terminate someone directly not reporting to them? In the March 11th meeting, a Board of Health terminated the sanitarian in a 4-to-1 vote without cause. A sanitarian that has written and manages grants amounting to $100,000 per year, who receives relatively little compensation. That sanitarian appears to earn his keep and then some. I urge the Jefferson County Commission to put an end to the overreach by boards and allow hired staff to do their duties without fear of unjustified attacks. If and when there are problems, that boards discuss those problems with directors and allow the directors to do their jobs, which includes conflict conflict and problem resolution with staff. Why was this sanitarian terminated? Was it just? Thank you.
The next individual I have is Linus Vicker. He's on the phone instead of the computer. Mr. Vicker? And he's not attentive, so. And that's all I have.
Is there anyone else in the room that would like to make public comment? All right, with no takers, I'll close public comment and we can move to agenda item number 1, County Clerk. Check.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm here before you today because I'd like to request that I have all of my employees under Department County Clerk, which is 402. I talked to several other clerks in the state, and that's where they said they had all their employee salaries under 402. So it would be me taking 2 employees from the elections and moving them over into 402. I'm not asking for any other money or anything else like that. So it'd be their salaries, their FICA, their Medicare, their health, and their retirement.
Why do you want to do that?
Because I had a situation where I had an opening in reporting office and I had an employee in elections. And the employee in elections offered to work over here because that's where she came from to begin with. She went over to elections. She said, I can go back. I plan on leaving in 3 months. I said, okay. So she went over to elections. So then this was open and I hired somebody here. So it messed up when we did the budget. It looked like I went over budget. And she was only in that position for 3 months. So if I have all the salaries in one department, I won't have that issue of employees moving from elections over into the reporting office.
Well, I have a problem with that. I just think if you have, and even though it's a small number of people in elections, then we have a true picture of what it costs to run an election, especially if we have to do a special election for the school board. And I just think it muddles the budget picture, makes it too easy to increase different folks when you put them all together instead of keeping those costs separate.
I think with our new finance system, it's not gonna be hard to tell the amount that the 2 elections, and during an election, all of my employees work the election. It's not just the 2.
I know
So please
that.
don't muddle the waters. I did call several other county clerks in the state, and that's what they said they did. They had all their employees under 402.
I'm not trying to muddle the water, I'm trying to stay quiet.
I can see the benefit of consolidating in the event that you do need to employees to work on elections or to work in the clerk's office to the cross-functioning or backfilling or whatever, instead of splitting their workload. So I could see the definite benefit of consolidating your employees so that you can use them as you need to use them to perform the duties that you have. So I'm in support of consolidating and having her to have one payroll item.
If we had a special election, how would we, is there another code we could pull that out of, or is there another department? I mean, like
Basically, you have the election in 413, you have all those costs, and you would just pull whatever time frame their salaries.
and push them back to 413 for the special election?
No, we'd be able to tell that amount though.
So Jane, what are you saying your concern is?
that there wouldn't be a clear picture of the true cost of elections, because it's not only election year, you know, they've got to work to maintain the poll books and all that stuff. And so I just think I think you can just come up with difficulties trying to track the true cost of elections, long-term and short-term.
But Jackie, you're saying that they do already serve in both functions? I'm just trying to understand.
She had an employee, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think she was saying she had an employee that was in, that went to elections, but was in the clerk table.
She started off in the recording office. Then an opening came up in elections. So with the paperwork, moved her. Then she moved over back to recording after there was a vacancy for a while. Then I hired somebody. It just would make it easier because if there's a salary difference, then I have to do a state budget revision.
Yeah, I mean,
It
that's where I'm
eliminates
coming from.
having to do a state budget revision. Okay.
It just seems like it would be easier for people to me if you had
Yes.
all of your employees in one.
And that's the way most of the county clerks do it in the state.
Anything else from the commissioners?
I'll just go ahead and make a motion that we allow the county clerk to consolidate her employees into the department or the payroll item 402.
Is there a second? Hearing none, the motion dies. Next, I have interview and appointments. Jefferson County Planning Commission, 3 returns in March 31st, 2025.
Yeah, Jeff has her hand up.
The
Oh,
gentleman that wanted to give public comment, he's now asking if he would be permitted to give comment. He wasn't able to.
we're in between items, if that's on the commissioners, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
it's fine.
okay. Maybe we got him.
Mr. Becker, you should be able to speak. Mr. Becker, you may be self-muted. He's on his phone instead of the computer, and there's an issue with the PIN number apparently. He says it doesn't seem to be working, so I'll send him a chat.
All right, thank you. The first resume I had is Jack, and I think he's online.
Okay.
So we're back to planning commission interview.
Yeah.
For historic landmarks. And Jack's on. What vote? He's on vote.
These are both.
I'm ready to-
Yes, please.
Mr. Heffenstay, are you ready? You're self-muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Greetings, listeners, and happy St. Patrick's Day and happy birthday to Tricia.
Thank you.
Hey, Captain Jack, this is Steve. I just asked all the appointees the same question, and why do you want to be on the Jefferson County Planning Commission?
I've been on the commission now for several years. I think I'm informed as to the operation of the boards and what it's all about. I'm getting more and more familiar all the time with the regulations. The other commissioners are a great group of people to work with, and we have an outstanding professional staff. I would like to continue that relationship for another 3-year term. And it's my way of serving the community.
Thank you.
Mr. Heffenstay, how do you approach your, that's too open-ended, there's no answer to that. When you vote, do you feel like, I know we can all be influenced by our fellow board members' opinion, but do you feel you have the discretion to act independently?
Yes, I do. I listen to comments, inputs from the other board members, and I listen to the comments from any of the citizens that show up at any of our meetings. And sometimes they're very persuasive. But I operate off of my own conscience, and that's the way I've always been. But generally speaking, most of the stuff that comes to the board has been pretty much scrubbed before it gets there. And like I say, the professional staff does a wonderful job on it. We get good questions from other commissioners. I've asked questions, and I think we're, like I say, we're a congenial board, but we're working for the benefit of the county.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other commissioners have any questions? All right. Thank you, Jack. Next interviewee I have is Wade.
Good evening.
I'll go ahead and ask the same question. Can I answer for Captain Heffenstay? Why do you want to be on the Planning Commission?
Well, I guess being a local farmer, you love your farm, you love your county. And I hope and pray that I do vote. I'm voting for the betterment of the county. But I can't guarantee you that either. And I tell you the truth, I thought we had a few contentious things in the planning commission to finish up. I said, I better go ahead and do this for another 3 years. I don't want to run out and be a coward. So I really think I need to stay around to spread a little love. Spread the love.
That's a good, I guess that's a good.
Yeah, I would ask you to vote independently. Spread the love.
I'd be disappointed if I didn't come up with something. Sometimes, you know, when these meetings get a little contentious, it's good to have a little laugh. Mine is all.
Okay, while you're spreading love, do you keep an open mind?
Well, I always try to. I think I can. I mean, I've had a few times that I've had here lately, I've been fighting between myself quite a bit on
Yeah.
a lot
Well,
of
I know
issues.
sometimes votes are
It's
struggling.
tough.
Yeah.
It's really tough.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions with commissioners?
Can't do better than that.
And there was only two.
We had a third one, email was late, was Jay Ware.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it made her know, but I saw the email.
Yeah, and I don't think he's online. He said, he's okay. I'll go ahead and nominate, I know Mr. Ware's not able to make it. Now, he did tell me he's going to be on a tractor this evening. Might not make it online in time. He has served on the planning commission. Might be his second term, I think. I'm not sure. But I'll vouch for him and say he's pretty developed. I'd like to go ahead and appoint or nominate, Mr. Ware, Mr. Loudon, and Mr. Hethus. We have 3 openings, but all 3 of these guys are reapplying and who are surplus for.
Did you want that to be a nomination or a motion?
That'll be a nomination. Don't we have to nominate them, then vote?
Well, we have 3 people for 3 slots, so you could just move to appoint.
I'll go ahead and, see, you always catch me up all the time. If I would have done it that way, you would have told me to nominate him first, because you did that one time. All right, that's fine. I'll just go ahead and move to accept Mr. Loudon, Mr. Ware, and Mr. Hethus as a 3-year appointed position to the planning commission.
Is there a second? Second. Moving second. Is there more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Next, we have 2 3-year terms ending March 6, 2025 for the Jefferson County Historic Landmarks Commission. First I have is James King.
James King and Ray.
Thanks for, yeah.
Okay, so I have Mr. King online.
Okay.
Mr. King,
Yes, ma'am.
go ahead.
Just reapplying for the full term. I've fulfilled the position that was vacated and would like to reapply for this one.
Okay.
Mr. King, this is Tab. Can you tell me if there's any challenges in the landmarks commission or frustration to be on the board, or wishing you could do more, or just want to change something? What are your thoughts on that?
So Ms. Tab, I'm having a really hard time hearing you. I couldn't understand anything you said. I'm sorry.
Let's see, make myself heard. Let somebody else ask a question. Let's see if he can hear you.
Mr. King, why do you desire to be on the historic landmarks board?
I'm a registered architect. I've done a fair amount of work in preservation, historic preservation. I have an interest in it. It's part of my education at Virginia Tech, and I would like to continue serving as commissioner.
Thank you.
I'm going to try one more time. Mr. King, can you hear me?
So far,
All right. What do you find any challenges serving on historic landmarks?
I think there's a challenge involved in educating the general public and the cooperation that's involved with general development, but I don't see where the two can't work hand in hand. So I think part of our focus is to try to review and revise current policies, possibly, and try to have do a better job. That's a cooperative effort of not only the Historic Landmarks Commission, but the Planning Commission and development that's going on in Jefferson County.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
No more questions, commissioners? Next, I have Raymond.
Hello? Can you hear me? Yes, I am here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Raymond Benzinger. I'm a resident of Jefferson County, have been for the last decade. I'm retired attorney. I have had a lifetime interest in history generally, but I learned while I lived here that Jefferson County has a long and storied history, which I think should be preserved and sometimes exposed to the public. I think a lot of our fellow citizens don't know anything about our history and the historic landmarks that are here. I would like to serve on the committee or the commission, do my part as my desire to do public service.
Is there any more questions from the commission?
I'll ask Mr. Benzinger a question. Mr. Benzinger, you have an interesting background, which I'm sure would come in handy on the Historic Landmarks Commission. What do you see as, what capacity could you contribute to the commission? Do you feel, what's your biggest talent that you could contribute to the commission, do you feel?
I don't know. I'm an eager person. I work hard. And I'm inquisitive. I think that will reflect my performance as a member of the commission. I need to know more about it, frankly, but I think I'm a quick learner. I have several advanced degrees, as you might know, and I think I contribute to the advancement of educating our populace as to the historical interest and opportunities that are here. We don't exploit that enough, I think. I think also my enthusiasm will be a positive.
All righty, thank you so much.
Any more questions from the commission?
I'll move to appoint Mr. King and Mr. Benzinger. There are two openings. Each of them are 3-year terms ending March 2025, March 6, 2025.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Trying to think, do they know they need to get sworn in and stuff? I know one serves now, but I don't know about.
I'll send them a letter to let them know.
Okay. All right, thank you. Next, I have a public hearing for the Home Investment Partnership Program. I believe that's this Nancy.
Hi,
Good evening.
good evening, everybody. I'm Nancy Strine. I'm the Home and Community Development Administrator for the City of Martinsburg and the Home Administrator for the Eastern Panhandle. And this is our third public hearing for the FY 2022 Home Investment Program. I had the pleasure of being in Morgan County yesterday, and then I come here to Jefferson County today.
Yeah.
Then I go to Berkeley next week, and then we had the public hearing in Martinsburg last month. So this is the process to begin our 1-year annual plan for the use of these funds and receive public input. HOME is the largest federal block grant to state and local governments designed exclusively to create affordable housing for low-income persons. The city of Martinsburg has been participating with the HOME program since 2007. We've received $6.6 million for housing assistance for the city of Martinsburg, Berkeley County, Jefferson County, and Morgan County. The Eastern Panhandle Home Consortium Board with 3 appointed members, and we have Annette Van Hills, and we have Tony Grant, as far as the Jefferson County representative. So we'll be meeting shortly. The home program has assisted 328 first-time home buyers first-time homes in the city of Martinsburg, Berkeley, Jefferson, and the program has assisted 157 first-time home buyers in Berkeley County, 56 in the city of Martinsburg, 81 in Jefferson County, and 34 in Our $4.5 million tax loans have leveraged $42 million in home sales in the first mortgage. This past year, we did 22 first home loans, 12 in Berkeley, 6 in the city, and 4 here in Jefferson County. Last year, I think we did like 7 here, so we're down. But we're still doing well. Remember, we struggled there for a while. We didn't have anything, so we did really well. In fact, the 4, we had 1 in Charlestown, 2 in Ranson, and 1 in Harper's Ferry. Just to let you know, and the range of prices, the high end was 182, 130, well, 2 of them were 130. So, nice little price range there. The trouble is, it's still a seller's market, so the first-time home buyers are really, having a struggle getting there, finding a home. So it takes them a while. Then with the home funds, we also have we're required to set aside 15% of our annual allocation to be used for community development organizations, the CHODO, right? The only eligible CHODO in Eastern Panhandle is Eastern Panhandle Habitat for Humanity. We've assisted them build 10 homes, and they're doing a great job on Sage Place in Shepherdstown. If you ever get the chance, drive up there on it's one on the corner, and that is the Habitat, the very the one that's right there on the corner, and it's a family of 5. He works for FedEx, and community there has really done a great job. They're going to do some of the volunteer work, and the Shepherd Presbyterian Church is involved now, and some funds from some of the different organizations. So I think you'll be real happy that we're finally getting a house in Jefferson County, so for using. So that's about it. So I'd like to turn it over to the public if there are any other comments or anybody wants to say anything.
We can start in the room, and then I wanted to let everyone know to raise your hand if you want to have a comment. And first I see is David Tapp.
How does one approach for these fundings? I got an employee has 5 young kids, and they've been trying and looking and everything else. Everything has fell through.
Ma'am, do you have a business card? I'm on the Ranson City Council.
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Okay, and just to confirm, the Habitat for Humanity house is located in Shepherdstown. It's on German Street.
It's actually our 20 Sage Place. It's right there on the corner.
Okay, it's the new little development,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
It's called City, it's the development, the road is Sage Place.
Okay.
It's the one right at the corner.
At the corner. Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you.
Yeah.
I went by and saw it because I met the Habitat for Humanity lady, so.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Yeah, she's thrilled to be over here.
Yeah, more opportunity.
Well, there's always,
Yeah.
we have plenty of money in there. It's just they have to,
Yes.
But the first one that gone out was Berkeley County, and I think they did Oakland County years ago. So, but it's a result of years ago, about 4 years ago, we had that big affordable housing meeting in Jefferson County. And it's been a result of a lot of hard work. So,
But it would be nice if they were in Charlestown and Grand.
right, I know, and I've talked to them, I know about trying to do something. You know, we've got to finish, just got to keep working on
I'll nag you.
it. Okay. Okay, and what's your name?
Amanda.
Amanda.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. I did want to let you know, at Morgan County, the input was, they want, people notices a long list of eligible activities. And we don't do all those things because we don't really have the, I should say, the administrative capacity to do all those. But it's eligible activity like rehabilitation loans. So Mayor Abby from Paw Paw, she wanted the application for the renovation loans. She said, I'll take 4 of them. And I said, we don't have that program yet, but we take that. And so when we do, we'll let you know. But they've got a lot of needs. We have a lady from Lansing. So something that we, as the home consortium, I bring it up and we can continue talking about it. But, you know, it's something that we really need to look at because our housing stock in the Eastern Panhandle is open. It's something we need to so we want to kind of let you know about that.
Jess, did anybody raise their hand? All right, thank you. So do you need to close the public hearing and vote on the resolution?
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution that's in our notebooks, authorizing participation in the Eastern Panhandle Home Consortium of West Virginia for the period of July 1, 2022 to June 30th, 2023.
Second.
Moving second, is there more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
Appreciate it. Keep me posted.
Yeah. Safe travel, watching the deer running around.
Yeah.
Next, I have agenda item number 4, public hearing on a zoning map amendment for property as designated as tax district Charlestown to map 3, parcel 9. Is there a lead for this discussion? Sometimes staff comes in and all that.
I'm here if you'd like me to say anything.
Yeah, Jenny, go ahead.
I'm assuming, oh yeah, I can see ahead of an applicant there. So the applicant's present and they can make their presentation, but the process is they came to you for you to schedule the public hearing, which you scheduled for today, and then you sent it to the planning commission for them to determine if it was in conformance with the comprehensive plan. So in your packet is a memo from me reporting that the planning commission found that this request to rezone from rural to residential growth is consistent with the comprehensive plan because it is shown as future low density residential on the future land use guide. And the proposed residential growth zoning district allows this density of residential uses. And my staff report is attached to that. But the applicant is there to explain what the proposal is and to so the public is aware of what it is and you can receive public comment.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Chad Wallen with Integrity Federal Services on behalf of the applicants also online. We'll see that. So I think Jenny and staff did a good summary in your report. This is a rezoning request from rural to residential growth. It's 102 acres at the corner of Daniels Road and Flowing Springs Road. It is in the preferred residential growth area, the comprehensive plan. It's within 2 miles of a elementary school, a middle school, a high school. There's utilities available. And probably a few miles of San Marcos Park. It really fits in and is supported by the comprehensive plan. Both the planning commission and staff found it consistent. So I'm here to answer any questions.
Well, it's near Dean's Lawnmower Shop.
It shows up on Google.
Yeah.
Did any commissioners have questions, or do you want to open public here? I'll open it up to the public. If there's anyone in the room that wants to make comment, let me know. And if you're online, please raise your hand. Is there anyone in the room? Mr. David.
Has been a road study.
Sir, you come up and sit down.
David Tabb, Jefferson County resident, lifetime time resident. Been a impact study on the road, because I know that section of road, it may be straight, but there's some humps in it. And has it been proposed for any type of improvement, widening, turning lanes, because that is the access road from Charlestown to Jefferson High. So there's a lot of school bus, a lot of kids traveling, of young age, inexperienced drivers. Has there been any type of highway studies, and is there anything proposed to actually address those issues? I don't know what thing is as far as approval, but I would think, especially in that area, that you would really want to have some type of highway study and see what it would do on the impact. There's another that's down the road that's coming off of a really bad, goes down to San Marcos Park, and that it's turn, and if you make a left-hand turn headed back towards Charlestown, traffic coming on top of you real quick. And so if you add to that from this request or change of usage, I would believe that a highway study would really come forward to make sure that this doesn't become a hazard and be safe for everyone.
Mr. President, public comments been made, and I think we need to let everyone make public comment. It doesn't mean that Mr. Walling has to respond.
If he chooses to answer in his rebuttal, sure.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say the
Didn't
same.
want it to be a back and forth.
Yeah.
Should I free up the chair up here?
Probably.
Is there anyone else in the room that would like to make a quick comment? Yes, is there anyone online?
Ms. Marshall?
Yes, hi, thank you. I want to say there is some static on the line. It appears that somebody on the phone is not muted and it's causing a lot of static. Anyway, my public comment with this is not for or against the change in zoning so much as if we have adequate infrastructure, especially regarding sewer lines and capacity at the wastewater treatment plants in Charlestown. As we know, it's going to be quite a long time before the Charlestown Utility Board utility will be expanding capacity, and the Tuscaloosa plant has been down for quite a long time now, over a year, and they're having trouble getting Tuscaloosa up and running again. Today, I don't know that status, but I think it's really important that we do know the status of Tuscaloosa and whether there is capacity at the current wastewater treatment plant to accommodate sewer. There's a lot of industrial waste coming. There is also 2 failed utilities who have applied to direct their sewage to the Charlestown wastewater treatment plant. And with West Virginia American Water coming into Jefferson County, I think we need to know if that's something that they are going to be buying the utilities in Jefferson County. I think that needs to be made clear to the public if that's under consideration. If that is, and with more and more sewer usage in the county, I think it's of utmost importance that the county residents under Article 147 maintain as a presence on the Charlestown Utility Board for as long as, you know, it is the county's sewer system. It's Article 147 under Charlestown. I believe that maybe the county representation on that board could be increased. And the Jefferson County Commission should do its best to increase county representation on that board. And I really hope that the county is paying attention to the capacity and when it's actually necessary to increase capacity. It's a real serious discussion that the county needs to have with the utility and the Charlestown City Council. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to make comment. Thank you.
Last call.
One comment real quick on the sewer plant. I work with them daily. It's
With that, public comment is closed. Is there anything from the commission? Did you want to make a rebuttal? Or?
Yeah, please. In response to Mr. Tabb, our traffic engineers are currently working with DOH and scoping of the traffic impact study. So there will be a traffic impact study, which is required. Improvements will be determined by DOH as they can put the roads within the right of way. So that is in progress, and that'll have to be provided to the county prior to we get a preliminary plan. As for Ms. Marshall, her comment, I agree, there's always concerns. You need to be able to serve the homeless bill. We did receive a letter from Charlestown Utility Board stating that there is capacity to serve this development. We received that last month. We had easements in place on Ashland Greens, this development to the south, to provide gravity sewer down across 340. And finally, I'd like to note that one of the goals of the comprehensive plan is to encourage the extension of infrastructure into preferred growth areas, which this property is within.
I'll go ahead and move the motion to approve this rezoning as submitted and find that it is inconsistent with the comprehensive plan.
Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Is there more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Motion carries. Next is agenda item number 5.
I got it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
all right.
For number 5, you just want to lead off a little bit, a little history for the public?
Yeah, this is a little bit of a unique situation. I think the graphic within your packet will be very helpful. So this was before, you may recognize it, probably it was last year.
Yeah.
The property was rezoned, went through planning commission, was determined to be consistent with comprehensive plan. Staff supported it for the county commission passed with one vote. So what had happened was that was based on tax map parcel boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got into engineering and hard surveying, the right of way along this property didn't line up with the boundary that was annexed.
We lost a lot of.
Or not annexed, rezoned.
Yeah, you lost a lot of space there.
So I'd like to point out a couple of things. In that exhibit, you can see, I mean, it's, the area being rezoned is the hexagon pattern. The area that was previously rezoned is the solid color. We came in, with a preliminary concept plan to show two things that did change with our concept plan. Excluding islands, the 5. And we worked with DOH, and the entrance closest to 340 was originally a full access intersection. Now it's a right-in only. So really, this request is to help solve the issue of the boundary lines. Previous rezoning was 2.5 acres. This one's for a 1/2 acre.
So we're rezoning the 1/2 acre to the highway commercial.
Correct.
No, it was rural to highway commercial. Okay, I see what you're saying. It's a portion of the 4 point.
Yes.
Wow.
All right, anything else?
No, that's all I have. I'm here to answer any questions.
Okay, I'll go ahead and open up the public hearing. Anyone in the room that wants to make comment, if you're online, please raise your hand. Mr. David Tapp.
Again, David Tabb, Jefferson County Illinois resident. I've made observations on the packet given to the public or in the public. Page 81, which is referenced as the sheet store, page 2 of page 6. This rendition has different colors in it that I believe that he was just speaking about. And this rendition is not even close to page 93 and page 100. In the first rendition that I just spoke about, it shows that the entrance is the main entrance off Augustine Avenue is directly in front of the development, large development out there. But the other two renditions are not even close to Perspective Hill Boulevard. So I have no problems with the project. I've kept up with it for over the year or two that it's already been in the books. I'm pretty sure it's in some of the final stages, but the rendition that the gentleman just spoke about is the one that I'm in favor of, because this could also later down the road with increased populations and usage of this facility, that a stoplight could be placed. The only suggestion that I would have is to make sure that there's enough setback on Augustine Avenue to accommodate this, so that you wouldn't have to restructure some of this entrance to accommodate a light with turning lanes and all that type of stuff. I'm not saying that it needs a light right now, but I think that down the road that it probably should or would have, and will probably be to the best interest of Sheets that it was. They've already done this survey a lot. If you slow somebody down and stop them, there's a better chance of them coming in. So that is one of their key positions. That's why they pay high dollar for a stoplight position. So with that, I believe that this proposal, if there's everything else done, that would be the best one that I see, and would actually help the community in the safety of everyone coming and going from this facility.
Is there anyone online, Jeff? Yeah. All right, thank you. Last call for anyone in the room. Hearing none, the public hearing is closed. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, and I agree with Mr. Tabb. I mean, these intersections need to be planned and worked out. The main difference I see between the two, again, was the change in location of this full entry down here next to 340, because they didn't want people pulling out that close to 340 and trying to cross them. That comes with detailed engineering and what DOH recommends us to do. There's more detail in this plan because we have been doing engineering. You'll see road striping and turn lanes in there, and that's all comes through the engineering design process. When we came to you before a year ago, the applicant doesn't want to put a bunch of money into engineering and design that the community doesn't want this, and it's not consistent with comprehensive plan. So yeah, this is pretty firm. It's already been submitted to engineering drawings. So this design you see here is.
Commissioner Hudson?
Yes.
This is Jenny. I just wanted to go on the record to say that the county commission also referred this rezoning request to the planning commission for them to determine if it was in conformance with the comprehensive plan. And just like the previous adjoining property, while the map doesn't show this for future highway commercial, the planning commission believed that the text and the intent of the comprehensive plan was to have some commercial development in this area that was compatible with the highway and the high traffic volumes in that area. So they do believe that it is in conformance with the text of the comprehensive plan. And that should be part of your motion.
I don't think we did it last time.
Yes, he did.
Oh, we did? Okay.
He started on, yeah.
All right, thank you. Is there anything else from the commissioners? All right. Is there a motion anyone wants to make?
So the public hearing is closed? Okay. I'll make a motion that the 0.52 acre portion of the 4.42 acre site change the zoning classification from rural to highway commercial, and that the request is consistent with the comprehensive plan.
Okay.
The movement seconded. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. You look, Steve. Thank you.
Commissioners?
Even.
I have a brief budget revision number 5 for the general county fund regarding some additional increases in professional services from the contingency balance of $3,500 over to the legal group. I sent out for more detailed information.
Yeah, that's very reasonable. Move that we approve the fiscal year 2022 state budget revision number 5 for the general county fund.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
The next item on the agenda is review and approval of the fiscal year 23 draft budget levy estimate. Just wanted to go over a recap of the changes that were made. We had submissions of $31.4 million. We made $3.7 million in cuts. The total amount of expenditures is $27.7 million. We have transfers to the capital outlay fund at $1.8 million. And we have transfers in from the ARPA fund of $800,000 and transfers to other funds of $101,000. The changes that were made since our last meeting were to include the 10% increase that was approved by Senate Bill 172 for elected officials. It's about 10%. It's 10% for some of them, and I think 13% for a couple of the others. So we made those budget revisions to include an increase in the commission department by $98,387, 402 for $7,242, 403, $7,242. 404, we included $7,614. 405, which is prosecutor's office, we included $12,620. In the assessor's office, we included $7,614. Those are all of the elected officials that will be covered by Senate Bill number 172. Other changes that we made during the balancing process were required to ensure that our estimated fund balance for the end of the year is going to be 10% of our operating revenues. So we made that change. We're also required to put the offsetting amount that we want our fund balance to end at into transfers to the Financial Stabilization Fund. Although we don't normally make those transfers, we're required to report it that way. So the levy estimate for fiscal year 23, based on the certificate of valuation from the assessor, is estimated at $4,967,181,943, estimated to generate tax revenue of $16,518,401, and we subtract out 4.08% for delinquencies, exonerations, and uncollectible taxes. We subtract 1.92% for tax discounts and 1.85% for transfers to the assessor's valuation fund. We end up with $15,252,743 that will be generated by the taxes. The tax levy rate is expected to go down because we did see a little over a 12% increase in the actual assessable base. So the tax levy rate for fiscal year 23 for class 2 property, which is where the majority of our which is where all of our residential properties are located, will be 27.72 cents per $100 of assessed value. The levy rate for class 3, which is residential non-owner occupied properties, and class 4, which is commercial properties, would be 55.44 cents per $100 of assessed value. Total revenues for fiscal year 23 are estimated at $35.4 million. That includes beginning fund balance of $5.3 million. We also received notification today, so we'll have this for you in 2 weeks. The West Virginia State Auditor's Office requires us to provide a salary increase certification. So we've made the necessary adjustments to the budget. However, we will need to follow up with a formal certification of increased salaries for county officials. So once we get that filled out, we'll bring that back to you in 2 weeks for you to attest. And so all 5 of you will be required to sign for this to show that we have accounted for the increases, not only in the current year budget, but to show that we have a trend line increase and that we will be able to afford it in the future years. So we already have a 5-year projection that we will be able to plug into this and be able to attest to that in 2 weeks. Do I have any questions about the budget levy estimate?
Could you explain the significance of the levy rate in that we're not at the max levy rate right now?
Correct. We are no longer at the max levy rate. We hit the max levy rate, I think in fiscal year 19 or fiscal year 18, and we've had the max levy rate for a couple of years. So this provides us with a little bit of a cushion going into the future years. The reason we were able to reduce the rate this year was because the assessed values of properties increased exponentially greater than 12%. And that doesn't mean, and because the levy rate is going down, it does not mean that property owners are going to see a decrease in their tax bill. Their property values still increase, so they may still see an increase in their tax bill. This just means that we're now below the max levy rate and we have some room for growth in the next few fiscal years.
A little wiggle room.
Other things that were included in the budget process were the employee salary scales. So as we approve this budget, I want to make sure that we understand that the salary scales that we approved during the budget process will then be distributed to departments as being the approved salary scales for employees effective July the 1st of 2021. I'm sorry, 2023. 22. I'll get there eventually. Full severance fund is also included in the levy estimate. We estimate that revenues for the cold severance fund will be $101,000. We have total expenditures, including $116,975 for priority dispatch, $23,000 for mental health, $14,382 for the Jefferson County Coalition on Aging. So we should have an ending fund balance for the coal severance fund of $216,112. Any questions about anything related to the levy estimate? We will need a motion to approve it, and then we will submit it to the paper so that we can have it published. And we will also submit it to the state auditor's office in the next day or two, once you approve it.
I kind of have a question. So this is kind of like the final step before approving the actual budget, correct?
This is the final one.
Got you.
Yeah. The next thing that we need to do would be to actually lay the levy rate on April the 17th. So this is the, what the levy rate will be, but we actually have to lay the levy rate on April the 17th. And I think that would be the final step in approving the budget. Once you lay the levy rate, it says our budget is established based on this revenue number. So that would actually be the final step.
Okay. And that leads me to a question, commissioners, are we done with the budget? Because for me, there's no ESA personnel in there, especially with the kind of surplus we have. I don't know if we wanted to address that.
I did include money in the contingency for emergencies for, I think, 2 positions.
That's what I thought.
So there is funding set aside for them. It's just not moved into their department yet.
Okay.
It would require a budget revision, but we do have funding set aside for them.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think we're not far enough in some negotiations and talks with the fire departments to figure out what we need to do. And we will just have to go back to next budget revision.
That's fine. I was just making sure everyone was on the same page.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. We did two
Yes.
I didn't know what it was.
Let's see where it's at. And transfers. Contingency for emergencies, we left funding in there, 180,000 for 2 positions and 60,000 for their SCBA and uniforms, things like that. So we have 240,000 set aside for the potential need of at least 2 positions.
Thank you.
And how much does each of those positions cost per person? I guess?
Wages and benefits are typically about 90,000 per person, and then uniforms, their breathing apparatus, things like that will be an additional 30,000 per person.
Okay, so 120.
120 per person.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Anything else from the commission?
Well, I'll make a motion that we approve the fiscal year 2022 through fiscal year 2023 draft budget levy estimate
I'll second.
as presented.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And I know everybody's plate is full, but I hope we can get back on working on our ARPA grants, because a lot of our community requests got moved to ARPA grants, and we need to deal with that so those folks know what we can do.
So I can comment on the ARPA grant. We are packaging up a process to go over with the commissioners about how we want to dole out that ARPA money. So I think probably we'll get it on the agenda and we'll have to put you folks through an exercise.
Yeah.
The latest ARPA requests are all there on the public website, as well as a summary sheet showing what was requested, any scale backs, and then what we've received so far, and all of the documentation. So
Okay,
posted
so
on the
that's
web
all
as
been
well.
updated.
Yep,
Okay.
all updated as of today.
All right, thank you.
One other thing too, if I could mention, and Rick and I talked about this today, we may be coming to you at some point in time for budget revisions based on fuel costs going up. We are seeing a big uptick in fuel.
Did you say fuel costs?
Fuel costs,
Yeah,
yes, our
understand.
vehicles, heating oil and such. So,
Yeah. Fertilizer prices are through the roof too. so-
yes. So I'll get that on the record.
Is Jeff on? We're a little early.
I am.
All right.
You can go ahead. Next is for 2 full-time public safety dispatchers.
Very good, thank you. I am here to present request appointments for 2 full-time public safety dispatchers to begin training actually next Monday with approval. So you may recall back in January, I requested 2 employees to start at the end of February. However, one of the candidates simply stopped communicating with us, and after making several attempts in various different methods with no success, we onboarded one of the candidates on 28 February. She's been working, and we've been searching for additional candidates, and 2 candidates surfaced and presented themselves for our upcoming academy on Monday. We intend to onboard, with your approval, 2 individuals. One is Dominic Valancourt, entry-level dispatcher with no public safety dispatch experience, offered a salary of $18,1493, the standard starting pay. And Nicholas Brathwaite, entry-level dispatcher, volunteer firefighter in Berkeley County, offered a salary of $18,1493. Candidate will be afforded the standard wage increase merit once full training has been completed. So with your approval, I'd like to bring these 2 candidates on. They would start on Monday, and we would begin our call-taking law dispatching academy with 3 candidates.
I'll make a motion to approve the hire of Dominique Valancourt at a salary of $18.14 per hour. Start date is March 21st, 22. And also the approval of the hire for Nicholas Brathwaite. His hourly rate will be $18.14. And his start date will also be March 21st, 2022.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day.
Yep, you too. Is there any more in particular the commission wanted to do next? New business, old business? I figure Nate will need to.
Yeah, I think we go through new business. Well, goes in executive session. I can get 13, and Jane could probably get 14 maybe. I think maybe, I don't know.
Well, I don't think it's quite done, but we'll see.
Okay. You get 13?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so we're going to new business, agenda item number 13. I don't have a whole lot to update yet. We do plan on meeting with the fire chiefs next Thursday. And then I plan, Commissioner Ath and I will report back to you. One thing I will request from the chairman is if we could have a special meeting on next Friday morning at 9:30. We could do it Zoom, so I can update you from our meeting from the night before. Yes, ma'am.
So that's a week from tomorrow.
Week from tomorrow.
9:30.
And that is the 25th of March. So if you could call that, that'd be great. And then we could leave this on our agenda for the following meeting. Just, I don't know how many updates I'll have, but I'll certainly update you on anything I have to do. So, and that's all I have for agenda item number 13.
I had scratched out this, what I hoped was information we needed to make, decisions on where we wanted to go, if we wanted to go anywhere on ambulance fee, fire department funding, all that good stuff. So I asked Mr. Nissel and then Mr. Thiel, and I think he's working on it, but I don't know if they're done yet, because it was, I only asked on Wednesday, so that's a lot to gather. Or Tuesday. So do you have anything? If it's not complete, we can certainly wait.
No, I mean, I can go over what we have. I think we have about 90 or so percent.
Okay, well.
Line items of what I submitted to the commission.
Okay.
Yes. so Commissioner Tab had requested in terms of what the emergency services and the volunteer departments had been funded. So there was some specific questions, and I think I modified for some of the questions that you had.
Yeah, because I probably wasn't saying.
And then, so basically for we only have 3 months, right, of 2022. So what we did was we found in 2021, the volunteer staffed 7% of the ambulance calls. The ESA staffed 65%, and a mix staffs 25% of the ambulance calls. So they're pretty much on par year to year, even though we only have 3 months of this year. In terms of 2022 funding, we have ambulance fee, 929,000 of fees collected, obviously less expenses involved with that. The commission funded 3.9 million, so we funded 4.8 in total. And that's for the ESA. For volunteer fire departments, we have a mix of 2022 information as well as 2020 because we don't have 21 or 22 yet regarding of what the state funded on the 990s. So it's, again, a mixed bag of information we won't have next year's until like a year.
I think the state is always running 2 years behind on volunteer funding.
So this basically shows like in total, total funding for ambulance and fire is about 5.3 million, and our budget was 226 million. So it's about 20.5% of the county commission budget for these initiatives. And then we've got, a little bit more breakdown of what was spent over the past couple of years. And again, we're not going to have some of this information because we don't have the 990s.
Can you repeat one more time? What was the mix of volunteer versus?
So the volunteers, they staff 7% of the ambulance calls. The ESA staffs 68% of the ambulance calls, and a mix, volunteers and ESA staff 28%. And that's about the same last year and this year. So if there's any other data points that based on this, if you'd like me to add, and we will fill in the remaining 4 or 5 blocks here.
Yeah, until everybody sees a completed document, maybe you all have information you want filled in too. So it's just a start. And I think my end point is I've had a lot of public comment that people want to keep this current system, citizens. And so my question is, if you want to keep the current system, how much is it going to cost? What would the fire be? If we take the majority of the burden off the county commission general budget, what would a fire fee be and what would an ambulance fee be? Because the one citizen said he didn't think it would be very much. Well, I think it would be a lot. So I just want to find that out.
Yeah.
So, all right, thank you for your work on that.
Sure. Is there anything else we don't have to go into executive session for?
Did we want to do county administrator?
Yeah, I can get, that'll be quick, so we can get that through real quick. So the first one would be the salary adjustment Department of Fleet Facilities Management. The last meeting, we moved Laura Kuhn from an interim position to a permanent director position. We renamed the department, and we were going to bring back to you today what that salary adjustment looks like. So I will defer to Sandy.
Okay. So what I did is we just did some comparison to what she's currently making. We looked at the position that was still open in the maintenance department. And then we looked at the difference between the position that we're getting ready to hire in our office. So there would be what the difference would be. And I think we discussed, like a fairness of 8%. And if we did the 8%, it would increase her salary by $5,676. Or she can, go lower if you like, or if you want to stay at the 8, and that would give us enough room for our position.
Yeah.
How does her as, the director line with the other directors in the county, like where is she on the scale with that $5,000 bump?
It stays within
It's in the range.
Yeah, it stays in that range. At her level where she's at, she's basically making at the very minimum.
The low
So she's
end
at
of
the
it.
act, yeah.
I just want to make sure we were.
Yeah, so we're giving her 8% from the minimum, and it just takes her just a little bit, because it still goes up to like 113,000 for that grade.
Works for me.
So I guess we just need a motion
Yeah.
to approve.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the salary increase for the fleet and facilities management director, moving her into that position with an 8% bump, which is $5,676.
And we also talked last week about making that retro to 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So we want to give her that retro pay.
Okay. So retro to when we first approved her to be
Yes.
moved into the director position. Yes.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
A well-deserved promotion and salary increase.
Yes, thank you.
Lots of responsibility in that position.
And it was budget neutral.
And it was budget neutral.
The next thing I wanted to talk about was policy 216A, which is the FMLA leave expansion emergency sick leave policy. 216A states, beginning on page 3, refers to the emergency paid sick leave COVID-19 leave, which speaks specifically to 3 categories of leave, which is health leave, care leave, and distance leave. The practice goes on to define the amount of leave, which equals up to 80 hours, prorated for 70 hours, and for part-time employees and the 70-hour employees. The emergency paid sick leave available to use for any combination of 3 categories. So if they got COVID, they would be eligible for 80 hours of what we call administrative leave. Eligible part-time employees are entitled to the amount of hours worked on average over a 2-week period. In the commission meeting on 9/16, Commissioner Stolifer made a motion to authorize the use of administrative leave for COVID-related issues, and it was unanimously approved. However, no end date was put in there. So I'm just asking you today, my recommendation is that we move to establish a sunset date of June 30th for the emergency paid sick leave, COVID-19 leave, at which time we will further evaluate the current condition of the pandemic. I just felt like we needed to sunset this at some point in time, since we're seeing a great reduction in COVID cases. In fact, just to throw a stat at you, the number of positivity rate for Jefferson County is 4.69. The state positivity rate is 8.31. So we're well below what the state average is. I think we're trending really, really well.
That's probably one of our lowest rates too.
Yes, yes, and that was of March 11th. So that's pretty current data. So I'm just asking that we, I don't know if we need to make a motion, but for a recommendation, I would like to sunset.
Oh, yeah. I'll be happy to make the motion to sunset the COVID leave policy to June 30th, 2022.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And the last thing I have is just real fast, which is probably evident as many people as here tonight. We typically were limiting the amount of people that could come into the room to 5 apiece. But as evidenced by tonight's meeting, I think we should probably move to release that number. And I just, we're coming out of COVID, so you feel you could allow more people than 5 at a time.
I'll just say that during our public hearing on the pitch report, we've had people in the hallway too, so.
Well, and just for your information, when it gets too crowded for my comfort level, I'm putting on my mask, and it's, I have a immunocompromised family member, and it's really important to me to stay safe.
I think if we do expect a large crowd of people, we will work to manage those influx of people coming into the room.
Now, I'd like to go ahead and move that we remove our COVID-19 restrictions for our county commission meetings, and that we set the room up as comfortable as we can.
I would second that, and I would just say, I think that the 5% cap discouraged a lot of people from coming, because they're, why am I gonna come if maybe there's already 5 people? So I think by lifting it, it kind of incentivizes the public to get involved.
And what might help in the future if we ever get a big attendees for some particular cause here, it might be good if we could put a speaker out in the hallway if this room would ever fill up too. I don't know if that's possible.
We do have one.
You do have one, okay, oh, okay.
I don't know if it works to work.
I know we haven't used it, we haven't used it a long time because of
Okay.
COVID.
Yeah, we'll look into that, absolutely. Thank you
Okay.
very much, I appreciate it.
Yeah, all right, that's good to know.
All right, is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries.
That is all I have.
I missed 11 and 12. I'm just trying to think of everything we can do before we get Nathan. Yeah, Nathan's here, but I need to go into that.
It's Nathan Cochran. Oh, wow. What do you need? I'll move the motion. What do you need to, your agenda items?
I can, I believe that point one is an issue of litigation to receive legal advice on. Point two is a contract issue to receive legal advice on. And points 3 and 4 are duplicative, I think, but those are involving litigation, and we will have our opioid counsel here to provide you with an update. So that would be either point 3 or 4, take your pick. And point 5, I can do that in open session, and I would just report that there was a case in front of the Supreme Court of Appeals of West Virginia, case number 21-0229, and that arose from Jefferson County Civil Case 1969. And the Supreme Court recently issued a memorandum decision dismissing that. Now, regarding point number 9, I am sure that you could conduct a part of that in open session if the commission wants to discuss that. There may be an issue related to liability that we need to discuss in executive session. And point number 10 is a matter related to litigation as well at this point. And I would recommend us going to executive session to receive legal advice on that. And point number 12, an issue related to Article 147 of the Charlestown Code. There may be part of that you want to do in open session. However, there could be a potential for litigation in that. And so for a portion of that, I would recommend that we go into executive session to receive legal advice regarding a potential litigation issue.
Hey, I move that we go in executive session to receive legal advice for agenda items number 8, 1, under Mr. Cochran, 2, 3, and 4, and also under old business 9, 10, and new business 12.
Just for clarity, you said that at the beginning, but that would be to receive.
And that, I said at the beginning, I'll say it at the end, and that is to receive legal advice from our councilman, Mr. Cochran, and their attorneys.
And I'll second that motion, just adding that number 2 involves possible contract matters. So that's the reason to go into executive session.
Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. We are in executive session.
Sorry.
Thank you. I move we come out of executive session.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're back in regular session.
I'll make a motion. I might need some correction or comments from my fellow commissioners. Direct our legal counsel to proceed as directed in items number 10 and 12. And let the record show that Mr. Spalver did not participate. He recused himself from item number 10. And let the record show that we did not discuss number 9 in executive session.
One second. Oh.
I'm making sure I'm covering all the bases here.
Commissioner Kemp, I've just amended to say that Mr. Salter was also out of the room when we discussed.
Okay,
number
yes.
10.
I'll second it. It's been moved and seconded. Some more discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
I'll just recuse myself from the vote because I wasn't here. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So it's 4-0. All right, I'll go ahead and move a motion to authorize our chairman to sign the West Virginia First memorandum of understanding. I think, is that fair enough? You want to make any more detail?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that, that you may want to discuss the background of that document. Could I just say that our legal counsel has been in negotiation along with a number of other counsel throughout the state regarding the statewide opioid litigation. And council has brought a document that governs how that the litigation settlement discussions will proceed. And he is basically placing that before the county commission tonight to determine whether or not they will agree to the terms of this. It's not a settlement, but it's just a discussion about this settlement that's going on at the state level.
I guess I'll just say that I think it's a good idea to go ahead and sign on. That the opioid epidemic is something that has affected so many people. And if we're able to get settlement money to kind of help with jail fees and, pregnant and postpartum women for expanding screening, intervention, referral to treatment, I think that we need settlement money to help with these sorts of situations. I agree. Yeah.
Would that be your second?
Yes. I will second.
All right, thank you.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Is there anything else to come before the commission tonight? Hearing none, we are adjourned. Oh.
How you doing?
Where? Was it Charlottesville? It'd be nice,
Yeah.
You got it.
It's, I got it.
You got it. Okay.